embracing, inclusive, that we're responsible for the condition of our minds, which we're going to indicate by the third eye when we smudge, to make our thoughts pure and vivid and forceful but kind, and for our connection to the greater, which is either your soul star chakra or whatever your belief system is. So we start out, this part doesn't need a fan or anything, and demonstrating, we take a handful of the smoke, pull it to the heart.
Oh, that's Irene.
We're in sacred space now. We pull it to the heart, make a little prayer for the connection. And then over to the, then we put our arms out. We go across the feminine line, which is fingertip to fingertip, including the heart. Then down the masculine line. Guys, you get the head drop. Here's the head all the way down to, and when you get to the very bottom, you lift up your foot, a little smoke goes underneath, and you tell the person, may you walk in beauty. Okay, and that's how this particular one works. So we can be smudging while we're waiting for everybody else to reassemble.
And you're not doing the back.
And
where we've been farming for over 100 years. We're glad you're here, and the pipeline would cross just right kind of behind Diani, just the other side of that tree and through there, but this is a safer place for us to grow our corn. So thank you, and we will enjoy the ceremony, and I appreciate everyone coming.
And a little bit of where the corn came from, and many of you know originally this was intended to be a Ponca corn planting, and we had to adjust plans as Mikasi was unable to be here, and he sends his regards certainly to the community here. And being that it's such a sacred corn, we could not, since we did not have a tribal leader from the Ponca Nation, out of respect for their tribe, we felt like we could not hold a ceremony over a corn that we did not have someone in leadership over. So this is a Tutelo corn, and which is actually indigenous to this region, to all of this Virginia, the Appalachia region, and into West Virginia. And I have a note to read to you as to who it's from, and it's very short, and I'll be very brief with it. Dear friends and neighbors in the resistance, this sacred red corn from the Tutelo tribe is our gift to you from the fertile ground of the Left Bank community of Floyd County, Virginia. We offer it to you with strong prayers and fervent intentions that it be planted in the fertile earth of your sacred ground and grow tall and strong as protection against the threats and hazards of the fossil fuel industry. Together we will work towards building a new nation where we are all committed to cherishing the earth, honoring our ancestors, and acting as good stewards of this shared planet. May you honor and cherish these seeds of resistance and assistance and work together to build community around your common goals to bring the people together around our shared survival. With love and respect, preserve Floyd. I would also like to give opportunity at some point, and maybe later in the ceremony, if people would like to bless or offer a silent prayer or spoken word over the seed before it's planted, or whatever.
Oh, that is part of the ceremony.
Perfect.
So
okay. That is perfect.
Yes.
So Irene, can I just let this sit on you? I want to give that to you. You are the corn sister.
Well, and it's appropriate that it came from Floyd, given that I also have property in Montgomery County near the MVP, and Floyd's right there. So it's a, for us, this is a very appropriate corn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, if we can kind of circle.
Represents everything that we're about, and this corn represents so much, and so many analogies can be made, and I believe that this sacred corn is going to truly represent our continuing to fight, not just for the pipeline, not just about the compressor station, but everything about the environment, everything that we care about, the air, the water, the land, and so that's what this corn represents. Might we bow in prayer, Father God, that in Jesus, and that we greet you and we thank you for this opportunity to come. We ask for your special blessings upon this event and in everything that we will do, especially in our fight against our struggle against the proposed pipeline and the proposed compressor station. Bless the landowners and bless those who have come in this day and for this occasion. It is in Jesus that we ask. Amen.
Started out not so sacred. In fact, she started out more like the companies that are now oppressing us. You see, she asked for a boon, and her boon was to have long silky hair, and to be luscious and voluptuous and popping with life and vitality and attractive. And she was thinking only of the material plane. So her boon was granted. She stood in the fields radiating, "Come hither and admire me." And after a while, the tall standing brothers, such as that big one over there, began to rustle a little, and too much. The grasses began to weave back and forth and say, "Goodness gracious sakes, do you think we can grow tall enough to just hush her up?" Everybody was becoming very upset that Selu was so stuck on herself. She could have been the very type that said, that you would say, "You're so vain, I bet you think the song is about you." And so, after a bit, the thunders came down. That's not a cue, guys. From the west. That's definitely not a cue, guys. And they struck her. And there she was, toppled in the field, just kind of splayed out and limping. And so they said, "All right, does that satisfy everybody?" Well, nobody wanted her to get hurt. They just wanted her to change her ways. So they begged the thunders, "Please bring her back up again, but let her know that she has got to give. She can't be taking all the time, taking admiration, taking. She's got to give." So they whispered to her in their lightning, "This is what you got to do, thunder, roll." And because everybody understood each other back then, they got it. And so when they raised her back up and stuck her back on her stalk, she began to give her wonderful corn nuggets to people. And they began to prosper, and all the people who were too thin began to get fat. And everybody was rejoicing and celebrating. And the lesson that corn learned was, it is always better to give from a heart full of love, and that will make manifest, and that will multiply. So today, as we celebrate the fact that we are going to plant corn, think of Selu, and think of her standing tall and saying, "Oh yeah, we can multiply, we can manifest, we can make things sacred and holy, and then no matter what happens, we will know that we are in alignment with the sacred harmony and with life." So that is what we are about to do. Wampanai tonkano mi chipayok, Wampanai tonkano mi chipayok, Nea wawa mi lana peila, Paio kwa mi, Wankani we lawani we shawani we yawani we nata okay, ni ta yi, ya 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 oh ya ya ya, ya 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 oh ya ya ya. Great Spirit high above and below us, Great Spirit everywhere within, your love is everything that we look for. Your power is where the worlds begin. May our faith soar as high as an eagle. May our hearts soar as high as a cloud. May our vision be vast as the ocean. May we never believe that we are alone when we stand for righteousness. For all your blessings we give thanks. Teach us the sacred and the true, and let us find our way back home into the earth, and to the sky, and to the sea, and to the fire. With you. Always with you. Always with you. Count two. And so, just like in green corn, when we watch the harvest with Earth Mother Corn Maiden, we're watching your planting with Earth Mother Corn Maiden. Thanks. Appreciate it. So until and if we get this far, this is who we're accountable to, the earth, the soil. All right. That are crossing are those who have decided to sacrifice for a cause from the very beginning. And that's when they cut a buffalo out of a herd. They felt that that particular buffalo would have decided that they would be willing to keep the people from starving. So it wasn't the same thing as let's just go kill a fish, you know, or let's go kill a buffalo or a cow. Or every animal they felt was willing and wanting to serve. And so this is a, alrighty, now, go ahead and cover with a thin layer.
Raccoons are going to have a field day.
Right.
Yes, sure, I will say something. The camera back to its rightful.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. This is our fourth planting of Tutelo corn throughout the various proposed pipeline routes this season. And with both of these pipelines that communities have been fighting and compressor station, the tension is really swelling inside of all of us. The fear, the frustration, the unknown, but I also sense there is a deep welling of hope in these seeds that we plant, and that we can rise up even stronger as we face what's next, because we don't know. But I think what is evident to me is that communities are uniting and harmonizing and working together even more in our pipeline fight. And I hope and pray that these seeds are a sign of that growing resistance in order to protect what is sacred to us, to our homes, to our lands, our communities, our water, all of those things. So my hope is that these will be a reminder that as you plant the seed, as you touch the dirt, as we water these seeds that are planted, that hope will rise up and spring within you and your community, and that we will continue to grow in our resistance and in our strength to work in peace to protect what is sacred to us.
Carolyn?
Yeah.
We brought some. I could have brought my gloves. I didn't realize we were going to be digging in the dirt.
Walkin' tonka hiya, walkin' tonka hiya, vini wakoni, vini wakoni, walkin' tonka hiya, walkin' tonka hiya, Manitou, Manitou, Kichi Manitou. Manitou, Manitou, Kichi Manitou, Vini Wakoni, you want to come and get some water for your lovely mound.
Passed on, whose ancestors were enslaved here in Virginia. This is a song called 3 Days Free. We sang it at Appomattox Courthouse on April 8th, 1865, which was the day that Lee surrendered, and 4,600 enslaved people were freed. So this is a story of a woman named Hannah Reynolds. She was enslaved. She was hit by a stray bullet on April 8th, 1865. She lived for 3 days, however, knowing she was free. So hence the name of the song, 3 Days Free. My name is Hannah Reynolds, and I lived my life enslaved till April 1865, when freedom flowed through my veins. The Yanks marched round Appomattox town, Lee laid his saber down. The tyrants knew their time was through, and freedom was the sound.
Oh, 3 days free, the good Lord gave to me, and I just rose to tell you the joy of living free.
My master and my missus, they ran to save their hide, and left me all alone in the Coleman house. I cried, the sounds of bullets shattering, the roar of cannonballs. I stayed behind the fireside, but one shell hit the wall.
Oh, 3 days free, the good Lord gave to me, and I just rose to tell you the joy of living free.
The Yankee doctor struggled, he tried to save my life, but in the arms of my loving husband I knew I had little time. But for 3 long days I lingered, and joy was all I could see, because I knew in those precious hours I was living free.
Oh, 3 days free, the good Lord gave to me, and I just rose to tell you the joy of living free.
I like that.